Today, we're going to be talking about a mother who catfished and stalked her own daughter. And this wasn't some simple catfishing or cyber stalking. No, this was what they were calling a sophisticated catfishing campaign. This woman invested hours and hours of her time into doing this, and it was her main hobby, I'm assuming, because this is probably something she looked forward to after work, or just something she just loved to do, which is horrible to think that somebody would like to do that to someone they love. I guess you can't really love them, can you? I don't know. You let me know. What do you think? But she did this for over a span of 2.5 years. She had 2.5 years to quit doing this, to think about it, to reconsider, to question her actions. No, she loved what she was doing, and she kept doing it until she got caught. Kendra Licari, age 42, was harassing two teens, and one being her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. And they compiled over 349 pages of harassing text messages and social media messages during this investigation. I cannot, for the life of me, imagine my own mother sending me text messages to scare me and stalking me. Like, what kind of mom does that? And no one really knows why she did this. She claimed that she was going to seek medical help for her mental illnesses, but some people speculate that she did this in order to kind of scare her child into running to her for comfort when she needed it, which is just really weird. Like, if you want to comfort your child, just be there for them and help them, you know. They're growing up, you know, that's the thing that's going to happen. They're going to grow up and they're going to leave you, and yeah, that can suck for you as a parent. You know, it shows you that you're getting older, they're getting older, and it's just sad. You know, you want your kids to stay young, but you can't go around stalking them and sending them these crazy text messages. And it's really kind of sad, because if she was just wanting to comfort her child, then she should have just did that and not played this game. That's why I think it's a little bit more than what they were thinking she was doing it for. She's definitely having some kind of fun with it, thinking she could be somebody else probably. And Kendra Licari, age 42, was charged Monday afternoon with 2 counts of stalking a minor, 2 counts of using a computer to commit a crime, and 1 count of obstruction of justice. The obstruction charge alleged that Licari attempted to frame another minor for her actions during the investigation. So she framed someone else, and that someone else was in the school as well. And I wonder if she had like an agenda against this kid in the school, and she was just trying to frame them, being like, you know, like multiple birds with one stone. I get to do this to my daughter, her boyfriend, and I get to put the pin on this kid in this school that I hate. Very weird stuff. And I bet you'll never guess what her occupation was when she started sending these text messages. Yes, that's right. She worked for the school. She was a basketball coach. For whatever reason, it's always people that work in the school that are doing some things around these kids. There seems to be a lot of them, because every time I go to look at the news, I see some kind of headline that is directed towards people doing some very bad things in our schools. And let me tell you, Licari must have been watching her crime shows on Netflix, because she pulled a move straight out of a Netflix show. Licari, the one that was sending these messages, and another parent made a report to the police about these messages that were being sent. And they worked closely with the police to try to figure out who it was. So she pulled a card straight out of Money Heist, which is the show on Netflix where they rob banks and they get money. But one of the main characters in that show works closely with the police, and the police doesn't know that he's the one behind it the whole time. That's what I imagine she watched before she started committing this crime. And I'm assuming she wanted this position because she wanted to stay as close to the investigation as she could and kind of pull the strings on it. Because let me tell you, everyone that was involved in this case was shocked to find out that it was her doing these text messages. And Licari wasn't completely dumb about the whole situation. She knew what a VPN was and was using a VPN to hide her IP address to make it look like these text messages were coming from wherever her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend were hanging out, or maybe from the school's computer, you know, anywhere that wasn't where Licari lived. Hey, you, are you subscribed to my channel? If not, you should, because we're about to hit 4,000 subscribers, and you want to be one of the first ones to do that. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that she definitely put a lot of thought and planning towards this. And she was also using the slang that these teens were using to make it look more like it was a teen that was doing this and not maybe an older adult. That way people wouldn't suspect that it could be her doing this. And what's even crazier is that she sent so many text messages. There was so much to go through that it exhausted the local police force there. Like, they couldn't continue to work on it. They had to send it to the FBI because there was just so much to look at and they couldn't handle it anymore. That's a lot of work. The FBI eventually was able to lock down this IP address, and once they did, they confronted Lakari and she confessed to everything. Now, she might have thought that if she confessed to it that she was going to get a lighter sentence and that maybe this wasn't such a big deal anyways. Well, it turns out she got 19 months to 5 years in prison. I bet she did not expect that. The daughter went on to say that she was hoping for leniency. She didn't want to feel responsible for putting her mother in prison. The other victim, Owen McKinney, his family wanted the book thrown at Lakari, saying they couldn't understand how a mother could do what she did for as long as she did and the long-term impact it's going to have on their son. I can understand the daughter must be feeling like all kinds of types of ways, torn in different many directions, just wishing her mom was normal and didn't do this. It's very sad that she has to have a mom that has done this to her and someone that she was seeing. Prison is a good start, said Jill McKinney, Owen's mother. Give her some time to think about what she did, time away from her daughter and everyone else. And I agree, you know, time alone, give you some time to think about what you did and hopefully, you know, see a therapist and figure things out and find out exactly why you did it. She goes on to say, it felt good. It felt good to actually look her in the eye, said Jill. It felt good to just address her and ask her why. I know I'll never get the reason, a true reason, but it just felt good to address her today. Lakari was emotional in her statement. She apologized profusely and said she is getting help for her own mental illness and trauma. I think for somebody to do what they've done, there's clearly something not right, said David McKinney, Owen's father, but I'm not a big fan of using that as a reason to blame it on that. And what's even more messed up is that Lakari was helping Jill, which is Owen's mother, which is Owen is dating Lakari's daughter. It says they came together to find out who was sending these messages. They were the ones who turned to the police in the first place together, Lakari knowing the whole time she was the source. And going back on what I said earlier, she was on the inside, and it probably gave her some comfort to know that she was that close to the investigation. It feels a lot better knowing that I'm going to have my privacy now, said Owen. I can start being with my friends again and not having to worry about things, and feels really, really nice. So just to put this in perspective for you, these kids thought they were being stalked and watched. So they were constantly worried about this and stressed that, you know, they were going to get jumped out in public or somebody was watching their every move. The judge indicated in the record that he factored in the long-term trauma that this is going to harming both the children and also the community, said Barbary. I think that's the first step and not necessarily the final step to the healing process. I can't believe a mother would do this. It's absurd. It's insane. And I'm glad that justice was served here. If you made it all the way to the end of this, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. And I hope you're having a beautiful day. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. It's crazy, isn't it? And if you want to support more content like this, consider becoming a Patreon and get your name at the end of my videos. Thank you.